Hi guys, and welcome to Geeked on Big Brother. I'm Shannon.
And I'm Keith.
And this week this is our 7th episode and the 5th eviction in the house. Is that right?
5th eviction?
4th eviction?
20th eviction?
It's one of those numbers. All right, so let's just get started with the HOH competition, which was the Eliminator competition.
Right.
Yeah.
Nominate the next two players.
Right.
Always a good time.
Always a good time, and always people's games are completely revealed.
I don't understand, people get so hung up on this all the time.
Well,
don't nominate me to go up there, blah, 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 blah. Someone's got to go up there, and you're going to have to go up there to win eventually.
but are you going to have to go up the second round when you're in a 6-person alliance?
Yeah.
It's just it just really shows when you're in multiple huge alliances.
When you're in multiple huge alliances.
You get in trouble, that's all I'm saying.
Yes.
It really showed the pecking order, and I think Devon was completely right to be mad.
Okay,
but
I'll give Devon this one.
But I mean, she got called up there multiple times.
I agree. No, I said I'll give Devon this one.
Okay, all right. You're allowed with this one.
I'll allow her to be mad about this competition.
I do think that people do take it pretty personally, this competition, and I do think there is a level of, you know what I mean? Of, God, I don't know who to pick. You. Right. I see you and I remember your name and we're on live TV. I do think there's a level of that, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just think it's very revealing. So, Christmas, almost by default, wins this competition because Devon chimes in and picks the wrong answer.
Christmas by default is becoming a very famous, win type.
Yeah. Well, Christmas when nobody else will do.
A broken leg. We'll see.
Oh my gosh, that was funny.
So Christmas is HOH.
Yeah, Christmas is HOH.
And we get this new competition for power. I don't really think the competition was much
basement competition. Yeah.
It was in the dark, and they heard scary sounds.
Yeah.
And they had to find shapes and put them in the right place.
And Nicole lost her pants, and, they got...
Okay, I'm not sure that had anything to do with the game.
No.
Maybe Victor was just in there under a mask, and they were, again, feeding, Nicole some help or some emotional support.
So they had to go around in the dark and find puzzle pieces that fit into 3 stations in 3 different rooms.
All for different powers.
The winners of the powers were Christmas and Danny and David.
It is a Christmas kind of week so far.
That's right, for sure. Christmas's power was to do a replacement nomination.
Cool.
Danny's power was that the HOH could compete in multiple weeks.
And she was crying
and she cried and whined. And if anybody watched the feeds, she cried and whined literally tears. This power sucks. Kind of meltdown.
Bratty, the whole world owes me Danny, is back.
Yeah, well, you won a power. It's better than the people you're crying to about this.
You won something. It's a good start.
And David won the power to be able to block a nomination. So somebody could nominate him, and then he could say no, or somebody could nominate somebody he's aligned with, and he could say no, you have to replace that person, and that person then is safe for the week.
Okay, so there was that dull little bit to kill some time.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't seem like that's going to help this season very much.
There could be strategic... Yeah, right. Everybody's going to use their powers for themselves.
All right.
So, moving on. Christmas made her nominations of Devon and Bailey, 2 people she's not aligned with.
Right.
And Bailey loses her freaking mind. Like Christmas owed her safety. I don't know what for.
Well, I think in part she lost her mind because of Christmas's reasoning. She said, because you said Davon was your number one, and if I'm not your number one, then, that's not, obviously not the real reason Christmas nominated her. Christmas nominated her because she's not in her alliance, and they're a duo. Might as well.
That's part of what her argument was.
Right.
They're a duo.
They're a duo, yeah. And that's ultimately what her...
Well,
and
you tell someone else that you have a number one.
Yeah.
That person has no benefit of working with you long term. Short term, maybe.
Right. And I agree with that. I mean, I do see that why would you say that? Who's your untouchable? That was the word, untouchable. Well, why would you, no one's untouchable for me. Or what's the right answer? And where is this question coming from?
Right.
I do think Bailey might have been the one who actually brought the question up. But I think she feels betrayed because she had this conversation in what she felt was confidence, we have this kind of relationship, and we have a working relationship, but they did not have an alliance.
We didn't have an alliance.
So, sorry.
So I don't know what Davon expected.
Yeah.
And the only reason you went to her to even talk about working with her is because she was HOH.
Right. Yeah.
So, no, you don't get to float around and then tell the HOH you have someone else that comes before you, the HOH in your pecking order, and expect safety.
Right.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work that way.
It was the stupidest, but I should have been safe ever.
So...
Momentarily, David did consider using his power, though.
That was interesting.
No, he didn't.
He said he did.
But
yeah, he said it for the cameras. Probably because they asked him, would you consider using the... No. I mean, how should I phrase it?
I'd like to use the power to help Davon.
Right, but me.
Is that better?
And rightfully so. I mean, Big Brother should be a selfish game. It should be.
Well, more importantly, David needs his power.
He needs his power, for sure. I forget what I was going to say, but... So then we had the POV. I mean, you can tell this is a kind of a dull week, I guess, because we don't have a lot of... Well, the committee, they were focusing on Bailey. Their target was Bailey. They wanted to get Bailey out, because Bailey's a better competitor, is what they said.
True.
And she's also a better social player, I think. But we'll see.
I don't know about that, but true.
So then we had the POV competition, which I remember there being a lot of girls in.
And Tyler.
No, not Tyler. This is the first week Tyler didn't play. So that was it was Ian. Ian didn't play. He was sick.
Not to play.
Yeah.
Too sick to play.
And it was, I think... Yeah, it was the math competition, which is in the same style, the ones Christmas won by default, the one you were mentioning earlier. The foot race competition. And Danny talks and says she wants to throw it. She wants to throw it to Davon.
Right.
Because she wants to have Tyler put up.
Right.
Because of the beef that's going on between Tyler and her.
Sure.
And you can see the look on Nicole's face when she said that. Davon is the first to go out in the POV on a false start. Bailey's the second one to go out, also on a false start. And, it ends up Christmas wins this one. Again.
There were some interesting, strange decisions along the way. Most importantly, Nicole... Whichever Nicole.
Yeah.
Blonde Nicole giving up $5,000 to wear a slop suit.
Yeah.
For the week. Because she has a history of winning.
Yeah, I believe this is her third tard.
A punishment tard.
Yeah, her punishment tard that she's worn. Which is kind of, dare I say, kind of cool of her. And also because she said she wanted to bring Davon close. Okay, good. Let's good. It's some game. Thank God. Will it work? Yeah, probably not.
No. Devon's gonna go scorched earth on everybody.
Oh yeah. So,
let's get to the real crux, the real drama, the real
drama of the
real
week.
BS of the week. Tyler's feelings.
Yeah.
Tyler and his fifis.
Stop.
Tyler, the tragically sad, who tells Devon and Bailey he's going to ask Christmas to use the veto to put him on the block and then ask to be voted out.
Yeah.
Because he feels so bad for the situation the girls are in.
And he feels like it's their fault, his fault that they're up, which it isn't.
No.
Yeah. Well, let me just talk a little bit about, so this goes down on the feeds. Everyone can see that conversation happen on the feeds. He gets up to go talk to Christmas in the HOH, and then on the feeds, they don't show any. They do not show the HOH conversation to, the people who watch the live feeds. And that became a huge issue for people to be blocked for something that important. And they felt like Tyler was in there for, here's 2 hours or something. And people really feel like production is keeping huge pieces of information from the feed watchers,
right,
who are the ones who feel like they keep the game honest. There's also, we talked about it, but there's also been discussion that people from, in particular, Addison Grodner was called in and had a conversation with Tyler specifically about this. But Christmas, basically tells Tyler, I'd be screwed if I put you up and evicted you on my HOH, because she would be.
Right.
She's, he's her number, her number 2. And the person she was aligned with most, that did sound wrong.
I'm sorry, I'm 12.
Yeah.
Moving
on. They want to go to the end together. I don't know how true that is for either of them, but that's what they said. And she's just basically against it, but said she'd consider him. Then
let's boil this down just into a couple sentences real quick.
Go ahead.
No matter how long that conversation went with Tyler,
2 hours.
No matter how long Elton Grodner or anyone else was involved,
oh God knows. Yeah.
Christmas line always was, "No, I'm not voting you out. I don't care."
I'm not putting you up, and I'm not voting you out.
There we go. We're done. That is that story.
Yeah. Though you had mentioned she went to talk to Devon about it.
She did, sure.
And it seemed like she got to get some more information. It really did seem she had her mind made up, and that conversation was kind of pointless. But because of that conversation, when Christmas does not use the veto, Devon's kind of hot about it.
Yeah, well, Devon gets mad when anyone plays the game around her.
Yeah.
I don't give a crap. Christmas played the hell out of the game this week.
Yeah.
She nominated 2 people she was okay with getting rid of.
Yep.
She withheld her alliance member's moment of idiocy.
Mm-hmm.
And then she took advantage of that moment of idiocy to get more information.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's not going to work with Devon coming out of this, but that wasn't going to happen anyway.
Right, yeah, she'd already, scorched earth with her, for sure.
God bless Christmas, she's playing the game.
Yeah.
You show me someone else who is, and I'll give them credit too. Danny's playing the game, but she's playing it into the ground.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, she's leaving her crumbs everywhere.
Memphis is playing a great game of hide and seek. He's just under the bed somewhere waiting.
Yeah. He's become old man Memphis, really. He's become the Jerry of the house.
Oh, wow.
And I don't mean that in a that old, but I mean they kind of look at him like, oh God,
But you can't look at him like Jerry. He's still the most dangerous guy there.
Yeah, I think that's, well, especially depending on who you are. I don't know. Anyway, yes, he's still the most dangerous guy there.
If you don't account for him,
if you forget
all
he's
of a sudden
there,
he's gonna win something.
Yeah.
And you're going to be seeing the door.
Yeah. That's true. Okay, so there was a fight after that.
There was a fight.
It was an argument that seems, I think, to me, very stupid.
It got pretty heated.
It got really heated, yeah. But to what end?
To no end.
Yeah, I mean, to what end? I mean, she thought she was... Devon thought she was blowing up Christmas's game? Maybe? I don't know. And Christmas just felt like she had to defend herself because why? I don't know. I'm ready. That's why, as with most arguments in the house, and I will never be in the house, so I will never have to remember this. But just if you go into the house, just remember, if an argument starts, it's not worth it.
There are two sides to every argument.
Yeah.
Sometimes the only argument is this is a game.
Yeah. Which is what Christmas was trying to say.
Right.
What is personal versus what is game personal versus I don't know, whatever it was. Yeah.
Personal game was Devon's way of trying to say you're not allowed to touch me.
Mm.
Now, I did not watch feeds this week. I haven't been a feeder this season. I do know there were rumblings, as Big Brother is prone to have, of racism or whatever.
Yeah.
And this is not a topic I usually touch on. But I do have to say this. Nominating you and your obvious admitted partner is not racism just because you're both of the same race. It's nominating a duo. That's it. That's all I'm saying on this topic, and I'm moving on.
Okay. Yeah. So we get to eviction night, and they are both still sitting there.
Both of them convinced they're leaving.
Both of them pretty much you could tell because of the way they dressed that they weren't sure how it was going to go. We don't know for sure, but we assume that means that they didn't talk to people after the arguments. And then it's in a unanimous vote to send Bailey home.
And
Bailey comes out and she talks to Julie, and she was shocked, I think, by Christmas's alliance. And I thought, wow, really? I mean, it seems like it'd be super obvious, but everyone who's come out has been shocked by Memphis and Christmas being a part of that alliance.
Well, here's the thing. When you've got two giant alliances going on with 4 members that overlap, you're going to be surprised by one of them.
Yeah, true.
It's like, how is this even working? How is this holding together? Honestly, it shouldn't.
It shouldn't. It's holding together because some of the members of the alliance say, oh, nope, they're in the alliance. You can't come after them. Meaning Christmas, who said that multiple times this week.
Yeah.
When Danny wanted to backdoor Tyler, and when,
And that's the only thing that I'm sure. That's the only thing that kept Danny off the block was Christmas's commitment to her
the alliance. Yeah. Because I think it was more likely that she was going up than Tyler. So, yeah. So she goes out. Bailey's out now. Then we go, and Julie comes and tells us that, it's going to be an HOH competition, and that it's going to go into the live feeds, which, as you might recall from our last report, I was a little mad that we weren't allowed to watch. That we weren't allowed to watch the HOH comp live, and so they did do an endurance comp and fix the problem. Yeah, it was a lot of people online saying that. I do want to mention that just a little tidbit there, that it looked like at one point during the live episode that they did accidentally leak some of the information to the house guests that Christmas and Tyler have a final 2. Either it's not 100% sure yet because they're still talking about it in the house, but either they read the lips of Julie that they could see, which they shouldn't have been able to see, or they leaked the audio into the house. So once again, we have a little bit of snafu.
I miss the old days when that would happen just in random. But that's the same point.
It did used to happen on random.
It did happen a lot.
Yeah. just diary rooms leaking into the house. Like, why is it connected to the house audio? Anybody know that?
And then their other candidate just sort of made that a thing where all of a sudden they'd just be giving away info.
Yeah, Big Brother Canada was brutal about that.
They were.
So brutal.
Man. That was vicious sometimes.
It was Ika, right? Poor Ika.
Well, I don't think Ika got the worst of it, but
yeah.
I don't remember who did. Someone got questioned in the HOH.
In their HOH.
And it wasn't told that everyone else could hear it.
It was brutal. Yeah. It was really brutal.
Anyway.
Anywho.
We forgot our check-in this week.
Oh, yeah. Let me pull that up really quick.
But I if I'm not mistaken, My Girl Christmas has brought me out of the woods to the top of the mountain. No?
I don't know.
Maybe.
What is it called?
Fantasy BB.
FantasyBB.com.
That's where we're playing. Where our leagues run out of. They do all the scoring for you, which is nice. If you want to mark it down for next season.
Yeah, I don't know. You probably could start one now. If you could find some people wanting to play with you.
A shortened season?
Yeah. Let me see why not. So right now, Keith is in the lead.
Yes.
By 17, with 17 points. Followed by OCS Palm with 13, and me with 12. Os with 10. Oh Hey Allison with 6. Kickle with 2. And the Marley Jane with 2. And poor Biddy Bum Bum with -4 points.
Oh, Biddy, you started so strong week 1.
I know. Wow.
We appreciate you guys playing. Hope you're still following along.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll keep updating you, and if anybody would like to trade, we may be open to a trade. Haha, probably not.
You think I'm giving up my girl Christmas? That's all I got left.
Is that all you got left?
That's all I've got.
Oh, man. All right, well, I guess that kind of brings us to a close for this week.
Yeah, we don't have any HOH to make predictions going into the week.
We just know they were on a wall.
Is a bunch of people standing on a wall.
Which we know people usually with small feet win.
Yeah, it's a tiny foot competition, so put your money on Nicole.
Yeah, it's girls.
Devon.
Mm-hmm.
Danny.
Yeah. Girls.
Okay, put your money on Danny. She's the most athletic of the three.
Yeah.
Historically. I mean.
Yeah. So just know that if you ever go in the house, tiny feet usually win.
Yep. Long strides for the slippery competition.
Yep.
Tiny feet for standing on a wall.
Oh, the things we learned through the years that will bring us nothing in real life.
Except the ability to predict winners on these silly ass games.
Well, thanks for tuning in. Until next week, here is your reminder.
Be excellent to each other. And
Game on! Game on! Game on!